Hey, what's up you guys? It's Six. Welcome back to my channel. So really quickly before we get into the video, I just want to say that I am filming this voiceover with my cell phone, so I hope that the audio isn't too atrocious. My laptop fans absolutely would not be able to take this voiceover. My laptop is on its last leg. In fact, I'll insert a clip of something that my laptop did the other day. Because that was weird. And I actually had a dream last night that my laptop had finally freaked out so bad that when I tried to turn it off, it electrocuted me. So I think that subconsciously my brain is trying to tell me you need a new computer. So a while ago I ordered an iMac that's supposed to get here this month on the 14th. But hopefully it gets here sooner, because that would make doing these voiceovers much easier. Also, the price of that iMac was a punch to the gut, so if you want to commission me or grab something from my shop, I will love you forever. Links are in the description for that. So you guys can tell that intro was kind of a little different. A lot of things are looking a little different on the channel right now. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about that. This change was arguably both very impulsive and also carefully thought out. I'll explain what I mean by that. I recently had an Etsy order that accidentally ended up with me using the very last of the yellow tissue paper that I bought when I first started my shop. And this sent me down kind of a mental rabbit hole, because I tend to get nostalgic over the weirdest things. For example, I had the first desk that I had when I started this channel, but then I had the first desk that I bought with the intention of making my videos better. And even though that desk fell apart and broke on me, it hurt my heart so much to get rid of it. And I actually ended up salvaging a piece of it, the top, like the surface of it, on one side, to build another desk out of, not intentionally. It just kind of happened that way. We were already in the process of building a desk because I needed two for my Cricut and printer to sit on, because the space that I was working with was just way too small. But anyway, so once that desk was halfway built, we just needed a top, and we still hadn't got the old desk thrown out. And so we just put the top of that one on there, and now I feel like I can't get rid of this second desk because it's been with me through so much. Even though it's super heavy, and as much as I think it's cute, my husband hates it. He built it. He thinks it's so ugly, even though I adore it very much. I love it. And I feel like I can't get rid of it, no matter how many times he tells me to get rid of it, because he built it, and also it's part of my old desk. So a lot of feelings with that there. And then I also have this little blue Scotch tape that's technically a washi tape that I bought for packaging orders, and I'm almost out of that too. And so I've been using just like the little last scrimmages of it, because I'm scared to have it finished. I'm scared to finish it like I did with this tissue paper, because the thing is, I didn't realize it would be my last order with this tissue paper. I didn't even get to package it. My husband helped me package it. So the fact that that tissue paper was gone was just crazy to me. I'd had it for almost 3 years, and I never thought that I would end up using it all. I never thought that I would pack so many orders that one day it would just be gone. And yeah, it took almost 3 years, but it still happened. Like, actually happened. So not having it anymore was kind of bittersweet, because on the one hand, it's like, oh my gosh, look at all of the stuff that I've done, but also it's gone. And that's so sad. But it also had me thinking, now that I need to buy new tissue paper, should I just buy the same tissue paper? Or should I go crazy and order green, since I love green now? And it got me thinking, if I'm going to change that to green, what else is going to change about my packaging? Everything is yellow and blue right now. If I suddenly have green tissue paper, well, shouldn't I make something else green? And that made me remember that I'm almost out of business cards. Last year, I started selling my work in a local shop called Sunflower Cafe and Collective, which has been an insane and lovely experience. But it also meant that my business cards are getting snatched up like crazy. So now I need more of those too. But do I just order the same cards again? Or if I'm going to get green tissue paper, should I make new business cards that fit that new theme? And eventually I'd settled on the idea that everything from my icons to my shop banners to my packaging absolutely needed a refresh. And with that in mind, I started planning how I wanted everything to look and how I wanted to express myself, considering I'm an adult now. I'm a way different person than I was when I was 17 and I first started this channel. I like different aesthetics. I'm more confident. I have new hobbies. My style has changed considerably, in my opinion. Although some people would argue that for some reason. TikTok. Anyways, I wanted all of that to reflect in the new everything about... I hesitate to use the word branding because even though it technically is branding, it doesn't feel that way to me, but I don't know how else to describe the word other than branding. So I wanted all of that to reflect in the new branding. And something that I do pretty often when I'm working on art or stuff for my business is that I watch other artists here on YouTube because it makes me feel more productive, and I also like to see how other illustrators handle the same tasks that I do, although on a much smaller scale in my case. At first, I was just kind of spending the morning doing my little tasks like sketching for commissions, lining the new icon, prepping a few reels for Instagram, which by the way, I'm so much more active on Instagram now that I know how to use reels properly. So check the description for that because I don't want to give spoilers to the new name, even though you guys can already see it, so I'm not linking it here. Check the description, or I'll put it up later. Anyway, and the more I was watching these other creators' videos, the more I was like, what if I didn't just change my icon? What if I changed my name too? Because all of these artists have such cool and memorable names, and while I don't necessarily think that Simon AES Arts was uncool, it's kind of a mouthful, clearly, and something that I've actually been thinking about changing for years now. I'm sure if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you'll have seen at least one story of me a year asking if I should change my username, only no matter what the poll suggests, I never did. And that's largely because I never had something to change it to. I literally never had something that I thought suited me. But the more that I thought about it and the more that I thought that it was something that I really wanted to do, especially since I was going to be changing everything else soon anyway, I figured I should probably change my name too. I wanted something that I was proud to say, and I really often will tell people who ask me what my username in person is to just let me type it for them, or I'll say it really slowly and they'll be puzzled and I'll be like, just let me type it, let me help you. Even my parents and close friends and family who have always loved and supported my work have had to come to me and ask what my username is or how to spell it because they're looking for my stuff or trying to show someone else and they can't find it. So that was enough of a push for me to finally start thinking about seriously making that change. So I started making a little mind map. I thought of all the names and nicknames that I have, and so many of the usernames were taken, y'all. So I started doing stuff like adding X to the middle of certain name combinations, like I was emo in middle school, and I was looking at one that was like Psy X something, and then I was like, hold on, Psy X. Why not just Six? And fun fact, Six is a nickname that my partner has called me since we were kids. Like, I'm talking 13, 14 years old. And once I realized that, I thought of how cool it would be to change it to something so secretly personal. And I started playing around with ideas for what I wanted to call myself if I was going to start going by Six online. And by the way, I know I did the intro like that, but you guys can still call me Simon or Six interchangeably. Both are totally fine to use. Anyway, I started playing around with ideas for Six, whether I wanted to use Six alongside one of my legal names, or if I wanted to include something art-based in the title so that people would still know that I make art. And honestly, obviously, having arts in the title of my old username made it really obvious that I make art. So I kind of wanted to still have something like that included. And for a while, I was leaning towards six.jpg because I thought it sounded really cool and mysterious. But then I was going through more words on my little mind map and I was like, oh, 6.studios, because hey, points for alliteration. And I suggested the name to my partner and he instantly thought it was really cool. he also helped me pick between that and .jpeg, and kind of pointed out that .jpeg could be anybody, not necessarily somebody that makes art, because it's just kind of common, like .exe, .png, .jpeg, whatever, is just like common like online stuff. So it could be just somebody that likes to use Instagram rather than somebody that creates content on Instagram, whereas studios obviously implies you have a studio, you're making something. And so yeah, I also jumped to my Discord server to ask for advice, my personal Discord server, not my actual Discord server, which I should have done, but I'm so bad at using Discord, it scares me. So all of my friends in my personal Discord thought that I was really cool. And that's what when the somewhat planned impulsivity came about. So when I say planned, I mean I've been thinking about it for years. Maybe 3 hours of thought though, and experimenting, and I just decided to change everything then and there, which is where the impulsive part comes in. And it was terrifying and kind of sad, but also exciting, but also terrifying. And I literally asked my partner after I changed it for the entirety of the rest of the day if the new name sounded cool enough, even though he told me it was cool, if it was unique enough, even though he insisted that it was awesome, if people were going to like it, even though people were already interacting with posts and calling me Six and saying it was awesome and that it was very cool and that they were so happy for the change. If it was too big of a change, I couldn't stop asking him questions, and if it was going to be okay. I've kind of settled now. I'm still a little sad and nostalgic for the old name, but I couldn't stop freaking out that day. And today, as I was writing this script, I felt a lot more confident in the change, and while it is scary to switch it up so drastically, I think that it's for the best. Like I said, I'm a little sad to see the old era of Simon AES Arts go. Eventually, all my old no issue tape will be gone, and I'll be out of blue poly mailers, and that'll be it. A piece of me is always going to be connected to that name because it's where I began, and there's also a few pieces of social media that I can't change. PayPal! And also, ironically enough, technically this YouTube channel, since the introduction of handles, I can't change my custom URL anymore. So in a way, Simon AES Arts is always going to be with me, and I think that's somewhat of a comfort. Again, seeing everything changed is kind of bittersweet, but at the same time, I was 17 when I made it, and I've grown up a lot since then. I'm 23 now, I'll be 24 in April. So I think that it was well timed for a change, something that fit grown-up me a lot better. So yeah, it's sad, it's scary, it's bittersweet, but I'm really excited for all of the changes, and I think it's really refreshing. I'm not starting over, but I'm starting something different, and I kind of love that for me. To be clear, Claire? Who's Claire? To be clear, no, I am not a totally different person, despite what Claire may tell you. I'm still going to be the same person making art and doing stuff. It's just going to be like a more updated me, a more comfortable me, and I like that. Sorry, I'm getting totally nostalgic and emotional thinking about this. I quite literally almost cried thinking about this, so it's just kind of crazy for me to have finally done that. I wish I did it 2 years ago when I first started thinking about it, so I wouldn't be so crazy attached to the old name, but like I said, it's still kind of here with me in a way, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, time to talk about the art finally. As you guys can tell, this is the new icon. I tried a lot of new and technically old techniques for this piece, which I think thematically is very fitting for this video. I used to do a one layer style of painting, but these past few years I switched over to doing line art. Lately though, I've been pretty into more textured looking pieces, and the idea of kind of painting over line art just kind of spoke to me, so that's what I tried to do for this video. The line art wasn't as neat as I initially planned, but I still think I got the vibe that I was going for with this piece, although I wish I had just a bit more texture in stuff like my face and my hair. Oh, this is my face, by the way, if I didn't already mention that. My icon has always been a self-portrait, but I literally don't think I've had blue hair since 2019 at the latest, which is saying something because 2020 me decided to do blue hair anyway, which was very cheeky of me. But clearly it was time for a little update in that area. I tend to dye my hair a lot, but lately I've been trying to keep it black because it's pretty close to my natural color, which is dark brown. No matter what my husband tries to tell people, it is in fact dark brown. And when I say people, I mean me and my mom. We argue about it a lot. But I dyed it black because I was trying to cover parts that I had bleached. But the last time I tried to put brown over blonde, it just rinsed back out to blonde. So black was the way to go. And I'm trying to keep it natural because I'm trying to grow it out long. And I had an undercut last January. So, definitely is taking some work, and damaging my hair over and over with all sorts of fun colors was not the way to go for me because I keep frying my hair off, so I needed to not do that. I also had a lot of trouble deciding on an outfit for this piece because on the one hand I wanted it to be the Full Metal Alchemist sweater that I made that I had on my Meet the Artist. In fact, I'm wearing my other Full Metal Alchemist sweater that I made right now, so clearly that speaks to me, but at the same time that's copyrighted imagery and I wouldn't be able to use that on a business card. And even though I basically live in this thing, it wasn't going to be an option, which I'm a bit bummed about. Then it came to deciding on what I would wear instead of that, and I thought of doing my classic yellow hoodie that I have, but adding a mushroom patch so I could keep some of the old yellow, but that wasn't feeling right enough at the time, although I haven't made my business cards yet, so I might change my mind on that. For now though, I settled on this yellowish ochre cardigan with one of my favorite shirts that I bought last summer. It's this olivey crop top with this little flower design all over it, and I'm really in love with it, although it was stupid hard to draw, but I always get compliments on it when I wear it, so it's definitely a favorite of mine. I also thought it really fit the new earthy vibes that I've been leaning towards for a few years now. Of course, I love me some bright pastels, especially when I'm making Monster Girls, but if I'm making anything other than that, I tend to really love earth tones, so that's what I landed on. I also might change this icon to me having my hair up because that's slightly more accurate. For some reason, just looking at it, me with my hair down is weird. I do wear it a lot. I do wear it down a lot more now that it's longer, but also now that it's longer, if it gets hot, I tie my hair up instantly. So looking at it, if I see my hair's down, I'm like, that's not me. But if I see my hair up, I'm like, that's me. So I might change it to have my hair up, but I haven't yet. And then the last thing, of course, that I have included is this little pair of cross earrings that I bought from Amazon that came in a set of like 15, because it was like 5 different sets of earrings, but it was like the same 5 sets in 3 different colors, which was awesome, for like literally $12. It was crazy. I used to never wear earrings because anytime I did, my ears would get super red and itchy and swollen, but I found out recently last year, thanks to Target, that the reason that most earrings do that is because they have nickel in them, and I so happened to find a nickel-free pair at Target that I couldn't not get, that just so happened, like I said, to be nickel-free, and surprise, surprise, I wasn't allergic to them. So I now aspire to find more nickel-free earrings, but currently these are my favorites. I used to always wear the black ones, but since dyeing my hair back, I switched to the gold pair because you literally can't see the black ones when I wear them. Anyway, that's just about it for this video. I know most of it was just me rambling like crazy, but I have a lot of thoughts about everything that's going on with me and my art and my life right now, and what I want to do moving forward. So I hope this video somewhat makes sense. I also hope that you like the new name, which, by the way, if it wasn't clear enough, I'm 6.studios on almost everything. If you can't find me as 6.studios, try Shop 6 Studios. I think my coffee and my Etsy for sure are Shop 6 Studios. So yeah, if you can't find me under that, find me there. I also have a link tree that should be linktree. How do I say this? linktree.e/6.studios. I don't know. Everything will be linked in the description for the most part. Anyway, also, consider subscribing and turning on my notifications so you can see when I post, because now that my name is different, I'm really paranoid that you guys won't be able to find me, and YouTube's already bad about notifications anyway. So yeah, if you're worried about it too, don't forget to do that. I love you guys so much. Next week's video will be way more normal. Let me know what you guys think about the everything changing, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.